Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Hey.
Let's
Uh,
see if that worked.
I am.
Started my router too for good measure.
I am actually live at the moment, so hopefully this is a
Okay.
good sign. Uh, right, hang on.
So far. Test?
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
I'm getting you.
Okay.
Getting you good. Uh,
Just making sure.
I'll just put that up. Well, I'll just say something on Twitter, I guess. I don't know. Okay.
Alright, let me know when we're good. Good
Yeah.
and ready.
Yeah. Whenever.
Okay. You've been sitting here for a while now trying to calm down, and you think it may have finally worked. You know they have their reasons and you accept them, but still, who are you supposed to be?
Who is
Enter
she?
name. Your name is Suvara Amali, but you much prefer to be called Soba, as it is something your friends have taken a stronger liking towards. Unlike those friends you unlike those friends, your time within the social world of Repeton has been relatively brief comparatively. Despite the fact that you attended school like the rest of them, they have school. Having your
Hmm.
knowledge spout pumped full of all the skills necessary to function, the outside world did not take you in for long, leading you to spend a majority of your life caged in a manner you don't like to talk about. Because of these factors, you've been left a little socially hindered. Your mates have spent a lot of time teaching you the ropes, but you aren't able to grasp at a lot of the lingo your clique tosses around on the reg. You desperately make the attempt regardless, though. You spent the majority of your free time reading throughout your life as an aid to try and see what you've missed, giving you a profound knowledge of planetary history and making you a bit of a buff in the process. You also like to give poetry a try when you can, but it tends to wax a little too far in the complex side for your tastes. You are never good at riddles and figures of speech. You have a vested interest in musical theater as you feel it is an art form that understands you, if that makes sense. It sort of wraps you into a security blanket and makes you feel secure to the point where it almost makes you forget why you really like it. You've also done a little bit of playwriting with roles that designated to yourself and your friends, but you doubt any of them would enjoy what you've made. You aren't ready to sing again yet anyway, so it will just have to wait. Your troll tag is sanguine allegory, and you speak in a manner that is a little too soft and sweet. What will you do? Find nearest your Cooper Coon. She has a normal bed.
Hmm. That's a first, isn't it?
You don't have
Huh.
a Recupera Coon, sadly. Soper is a luxury way too expensive for you to afford without any sort of corporate work in its strongholds, and your other passions don't bear enough monetary fruit to keep you afloat. Your loop supply runs pretty thin without one of those two options, and if you didn't have the help of a few people in your life, you would essentially have nothing. Corporate stopped selling aid after you reached 6 sweeps of age, and you never saw any
Oh.
funding anyways because of your situation. The padded slumber mat makes for a decent enough substitute, but it doesn't quell the overthinking and extreme stress your species deal with on a nightly basis. Frankly, you're
Oh
just glad to
yeah.
have anything to your name. Yeah.
I'm wondering if that. I can't tell if that's the Lucis or like just a toy, you know?
It's a toy.
Ah, right.
So a look upon feathered friend. It is a very cute one to one replica of Eleusis. It is a member of the Strix family, cultivated heavily due to the power of its feathers. Yours is named Coopery, but she also goes by Coop. Her plush toy was made by your good friend Liven. He knew you probably wouldn't want to sleep alone, and she is way too big to fit into your tiny home, so he made this for you. That's adorable.
Ah.
He was definitely right in that it makes the terror of not being able to ever relax while sleeping a little easier. It doesn't really produce the mental results, but it is very good for hugging. Examine historically inaccurate poster. This is probably the... I was just looking at it closely. This is probably the most popular piece of musical theater on your... It tells the story of how ancestors living outside the confined walls of society during the Renaissance rose up against the predetermined utopian society they were thrown out of. Their leader, being a man once unknown, now taking great strides to be forgiven, ending with his death against those who struck him down, but ultimately winning the rights for all of your species to be considered equal. It is nowhere near what the truth must be, but considering the lack of information from the general public, you really can't blame the inaccuracies. Plus, it is fiction, even if historical. Fiction breeds happy endings. Fiction gives love and life to those who dare to dream. You've dreamed a dream in times gone by, and you still do as much as you can. I forget how the song goes, else I would have sung that.
Oh god.
Inspect novel.
Thought it was Journal of a Colourable Wiggler.
God, I forgot about this. Oh, this is one of your absolute favorites. You haven't read it yet. You look forward to doing so, but even though you wouldn't say it, you have to admit you kind of don't like the art style. The young troll on the cover sort of looks like he will grow up to be some sort of sociopath, but that's just your special little theory. It was a cottage warming gift from Serpaz. She always means well. Her and Liven took a lot of time to build this place for you because they knew you had nowhere else to go. You feel as if you're forever indebted to them. She has good friends.
Built it, yeah.
Read table. It's Ragtime and Phantom of the Opera.
Oh.
She did you the favor of translating it to current text, but you haven't really been able to focus on reading it with everything going on as much as you tried. These scrolls belong to an archivist, whatever,
Archivist? Whatever.
Who recorded the many various plights and struggles they faced during their life in the Renaissance. You took them from their original owner after you... No, you don't want... But they tell the tale of a woman known as the who was tossed around as a slave from owner to owner as she was used, beaten... Well, you feel as if you can sympathize with her. It's just a really neat thing you have. It's interesting because it looks like it's... that scroll looks like it's Alternian.
Yeah, they mentioned earlier, didn't they?
So
that
they're translating it to their own...
I feel like they mentioned earlier that was like the sort of old, like the pre-Renaissance language. I might be misremembering. But
Water.
I don't know. I feel like
I don't know. Because they don't mention Alternian anywhere, but this is like the first time I'm actually seeing it anywhere.
Yeah, I might be misremembering. I'm not sure.
No, maybe it's actually not related. Who knows?
I don't know.
You don't know why someone is messaging you now, but this distraction is a gift, and you will cherish, and you will cherish as you have all of your other ones. I think it's missing a word. You will cherish it as you have all the other ones. Check score.
Oh, this is a fun one. I love
her score theme. It's great.
Yeah.
You turn your bibliophonic back on? Yeah, bibliophonic. It's a great little tool that you use to get your hands on more recent releases, but you feel like there are way too many shops to look into. It's all a little overwhelming, and you wish that it could be a little more simple and easy. Your Scorp theme is Showgoer's Scoops, and you feel it adequately represents an experience you aren't sure will survive this new age of mediocrity in media. You also have a couple memos lying around, a memo tab that you've been keeping around in case you need to look back at all the information regarding this game that you're being put into. Some Scorp themes just let you see memos on your friends list, but of course that isn't a common feature. Because Scorp is bad and you don't like using it, but it's where everyone else is, and as such you need to be there. Speaking of, it was Serpaz that messaged you. You kind of wanted to be someone else if you're being idealistic about it, but this is just fine too. You would never complain about talking to her. Answer Surpaz. Do you
Who
want
wants to be
to
here?
be Sova?
Yeah,
I like
I mean,
voicing
sure. Yeah,
Surpaz.
sure. Let me just go. What should it say about like how she speaks again? Like,
Hmm?
I'm just
Huh?
wondering what it said about like how she speaks is like softly and
Yeah, she's like a soft-spoken, kind of sweet,
yeah. It'll
sweet,
choose
sweet,
soft and sweet.
soft-spoken.
I mean, I'll see what I can do.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I just like voicing Surpaz.
Yeah.
It's fun. Okay. Silva, I'm here and I am on a mission. By every bone in my body, I'm coming here to talk to you, and by the power of those bones, you are going to like it. Forget the game, forget the others, and forget the reading. It's me and you now. It'll be a hell of a memory-based hootenanny. We will reminisce together, and you will tell me how you are doing right now. Also, did you get my pen? I hope so. It's pretty alright on such short notice.
uh, I did not. Yeah, that's not. I don't know. I'm gonna have to just play this one by ear.
Yeah, that's how it
I,
always goes.
I did not. I'm sorry. I don't know.
It's like the sound your Lucis makes. Hoot hoo!
Oh, actually, I would classify it more in the realm of, say, something more akin, haka. Don't know what that's supposed to be. But it only gets easier to identify when you've been around one for so long and it likes you a little more. You put in the effort, though.
A whole 2 seconds worth. Definitely my best in a while. Hey!
Hello. And a face.
Load. There we go. I told you that we needed to catch up, and with everything going on, I decided to just take up the initiative from the ground and huddle it forward until I run it back home. Then I will take the opportunity and nurture it as if it were my own easy-baked pre-taught growth, made from a genetic tapestry of my need to keep in contact with you.
This all sounds like a very complex series of events. Perhaps it would do us better to actually talk instead of talking about talking?
What are you, some kind of story critic?
I dabble.
Everything I just said has so much value, though. I'm moving this proverbial plot forward full steam ahead.
I have a lot to say about dialogue structure, and I would if we had more time to fiddle around. Perhaps more to say than your most pish-posh of these angry internet dwellers, who feed on... the internet dwellers, because they can't call them trolls.
Right.
I like that. Who feed on harsh and angst-ridden spicy memes that are only epic in the ever-fading context of our hostile internet environment. But little did they know there is nothing more epic than learning.
God.
Is she a
She's
teacher?
so adorable. I'm sure you'd make an exceptional teacher if you
Oh.
never say anything. Let me say that again.
I'm just...
I'm sure you'd make an exceptional teacher if you never say anything like that, like what you've just said ever again.
How do you do, fellow kids? Rude, I'm trying my best.
If you're so confident, just tell me how you're doing then. Don't wait on my dumbass to RSVP for the night 12 Yule passing dinner event.
I would, but I'm not good at deciding what to say.
I could ask you some questions as a Kickstarter?
That would solve the problem, I think. Thank you.
Let's keep this fastball moving at top speed then. You get the big questions starting now. Did you ever find the 1? Or the 2? Maybe even the 3?
Goodness gracious! If this means what I think it might, then that is about as big as you can go.
So...
Just one, and it took a long time for me to say anything. In fact, I think she did most of the talking for me, if I'm being honest.
Please tell me I know them. I have to write a whole bit about them just so I can test how worthy fate really deems this gal to be.
I'll give you a hint. She makes me see stars.
I knew it! I knew it! You two have been close since we took you in. I knew the waiting game would end eventually.
It's still pretty new, though. We're taking it slow. It is almost textbook in a few ways. And before you ask another big question, no, we have not done anything, and I highly doubt we will soon. But it is still very nice as it is. I'm happy about it.
I'll bet. The most conventional, the better sometimes, dude. Pretty much everyone should avoid being like me.
She has been pretty busy tonight, though, for reasons that are obvious. I have been too, though, at least now. I'm still searching through my scrolls to find what else she was referring to in her memo. Albion has been translating a few for me every so often, but I'm pretty sure I'd remember what something like this would have looked like.
Sounds to me like she needs to take a couple of pages out of your finely tuned playbook.
In what regard?
The regard of you being a total angel. She types like a playwright.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I just realised that's why the name's
so
something. I was just gonna ask about that. I just it hit me. That's clever. What?
Oh shit! I just remembered. Okay, yeah.
Oh.
Go on.
A what?
An angel, an absolute sweetie whose soul must have decided to linger in order to guide those who need it, just like in all the old stories. I'm sure you know the ones. Seriously, I don't know what Albion would do without you at this point, or me for that matter.
Yes, and that is great, and I loved our catch-up time together. But I actually think I really need to go now.
Aw, do you have to? Everything's fine, you know that, right? Those dirty little dots mean you're speculating on the unneeded. Oh wait, let me read that. Those dirty little dots mean you're speculating on the unneeded. I just know it. I didn't think you would still do that so often after you were able to live the life you wanted. You're okay, aren't you?
I'm just fine. We can talk more later, I promise. I just really have to go right now.
I don't really think you do. Sova? You really need to learn how to let go of yourself sometimes, you know? Don't keep doing this forever like you have been. I don't know what it is this time, and I'm sorry if it's from me, but whatever's going on, you will come to pass. No reason being upset about what you can't change. You just have to move past it and stop fussing. That's the best thing you can ever do. But this might actually be good timing on my end anyways. I hear something loud outside. Lefty's going apeshit for some reason. This is all really peculiar, honestly. See, now I'm getting worried. So, at least now I'm feeling what you feel. Just try to get over whatever it is, okay? I will always be here for you if you need me, just like we promised. You'll forget it ever even happened eventually, I bet. That's not how that works.
Yeah. Oh.
This is pure speculation on my part, but I think this is actually, the fuck was his name? The guy who was bugging Serpaz before.
Oh,
I could be
Edelon?
wrong. I'm not entirely sure though.
Edelon?
Yeah, Edelon.
Yeah, he was purple, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I'm concerned about whatever's happening. I didn't really. Sorry, yeah.
Basically, Angel is a trigger word for her.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I didn't pick up on that. Oh, I see it now. What it's Angel. I suppose that would be clearer from this scene. I don't know. We didn't really give him a voice because haven't really been introduced yet.
Not yet.
So I don't know. Well, he was a Weird Al evangelist. That's all I remember.
Those are words, yes.
Well, I didn't write the thing.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Oh no, I'll just sing my angel of music. Not much of a voice yet. You wouldn't want to disappoint everyone, would you? Ooh, there's some backstory happening there.
Yeah, very worrying backstory. No, you aren't going to let it get to you. Not again. You just need to keep distracting yourself. You unfurl the latest scroll, begin reading in the hopes that it quells your thoughts with impassioned words. Please have impassioned words. Read impassioned translation. Oh, this is ancestor stuff. I know how to read. Should I actually read this?
Well, yeah, unless you want me to. I don't. I mean, I don't know who this is.
I want to say it's her ancestor.
I mean, whatever you like. You know. You.
Just judging by the color, I think it's her
Hmm.
ancestor.
Yeah. It's just.
Yeah, I'll read this.
Yeah. Cool.
One sec. Okay. A rare evening of respite in a sweep spent living from Bindles? But it is a valued one indeed, one spent among friends. Yeah, it's her
Oh,
ancestor.
she looks cool.
She looks really cool. I love the feathers.
Hmm.
May the danger yet loom, may our days run thin like the seam in a coat too long tested by the winter's snarl. On nights such as these, our hands warmed by the fire as tonight's hunt crackles on the spit. Spark bugs suffuse the air like low-hanging stars. Nights like these, surrounded by friends, our voices rose alike as if to say, let them come. So we see Elsie's ancestor and
Yeah.
Lyvan's ancestor.
Yeah.
I really like their outfits.
Hmm. Yeah. Ancestor
And these
designs are good in
archetypes.
this.
I agree.
Hmm.
The Jaggerman turned his catch, a leap mammal doe who had less luck than his skill, over the fire. The lime blood passed me her wineskin, and I drank for the joy of freedom. Her chosen stared up at the night sky, still as lost as he was found. Much time passed without a word, and we were all content to drink it in for a time, and let the warmth of the fire burn both before us and the wine in our bellies. I turned, though, to the Vivifier, perhaps inspired by Forti, to request another tale from this figure of legend that sat unreasonably humble before me. She looked less a god and more a dark-eyed luxuriant, which was no detriment to the amount of my attention she commanded. She gave in to my whims and told a story from a time when our kind had yet only treaded lightly upon this mortal splendor, and the greatest mountains had not yet been worn down to hills by our heavy footfalls and heavier souls.
Oh.
A young king made the habit of walking amongst the people of his village so as to learn of each subject personally. Every night upon the king's walks he would see a frail old woman tending to the same persimmon tree. After many nights of this, he decided to finally break silence and inquire about her craft. You must love the fruit a great deal to spend so many hours ensuring the tree comes to bear, the king opined to the elder troll. The woman held out her palm to offer the great king a fruit from the tree. She smiled as he took a bite and delighted in its rich flavor. It was the most succulent fruit he had tasted in his kingdom. I have not eaten a persimmon since I was but a hatchling, the old woman told the king. My palate cannot tolerate them like it used to. The king was taken aback by such a strange insight. Why for should she raise a tree of no use to her taste, but with such commitment? This tree belonged to my red and beloved, O great king, said the peasant woman. She would smile whenever she tasted the fruit. When I let another grow and see the smile of enjoyment upon the face of one sampling its taste, I see a spark of her, and she yet lives on within me. The king was so moved by this troubled tale of pity that he assured the woman that this life and this love would be maintained in perpetuity. He was a truth teller, and the tree was protected by his court evermore, with new orchards planted, all from seeds born from that love. The Vivifier, voice clear but soft, told me that all persimmons in our world today come from those seeds, and the story sat warmly in the air. The blazing cinders rising towards the monochromatic sky. That word is hard. I believe there are many capacities in which we are allowed to be loved. I, for the first time, realize that I am feeling that love. We sustained ourselves with a meager meal and a feast of friendship. Of all life's labors, none sustains the spirit greater than the act of simple devotion. Rumble, rumble, rumble.
one, but that was nice.
It's a good story.
I like that sort of like in-universe myths and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like I found like it adds a lot to this sort of to the world.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's cool.
For once, reading didn't seem to quell the anxiety sunken within you. You can feel your vein puncher quake with a roar that seems to shake your meager boat to its core. To its core. Or, wait. You can't imagine what could be making such a racket out there. This section of woodland is hardly ever even trotted on, and there haven't been any bombs dropped in hundreds of sweeps. You won't be falling for that one again. God, I don't want to know the context of that. Maybe Coopery finally came back?
Oh, hey,
You
Miss
could really
Rose.
use someone who knows.
Sorry, just Miss Rose
Oh,
saying hi.
I forgot to pop out the chat, so I haven't been seeing people come in.
Oh,
Hello!
that's the first one, so
Yes,
yeah.
it's her.
Good to
I
have
love
you
her
here.
very much. Okay, now I popped out the chat.
Sorry, I got interrupted you there.
No problem. You could really use someone who knows what to do right now. Lusai can always do that, it's in her nature. Please be a nice, warm, friendly hug waiting to happen.
I don't think it will be. It isn't.
It is absolutely not.
I mean, probably. Probably not, I mean.
You don't know if you can hug that. Oh boy, back to Murit.
Mutt. Oh yeah.
Your turn now.
Yeah. You're trying to? Oh yeah. Enter. You're trying to, but it has been a long process and a series of events already cut short. I like this beach. He's got like his own beach, I guess.
Yeah, he's got his own island.
Your guidance is dead. Oh. He was fine 20 minutes ago, but suddenly the only Neo-Macrodon left in existence decided that now was the best moment to go extinct. You would say you feel an extreme sense of loss and deep regret, but your bond to him wasn't able to run too deep. He came to you old and wounded and proceeded to laze around while you tried to feed him coconut juice through a straw. But he just kind of stopped after a while. You think the chemicals may have turned his brains to mush just being out here. Rip in peace. Oh. Yeah, well,
Okay,
see you
thanks
later,
for
Miss
stopping by,
Rose.
at least.
You catch stream on YouTube, of course, so, yeah. You know, back when they were thriving, the species your Lucis comes from used to be a major threat to the Skull Titans. Perhaps this could be why fate is holding you back. The relations between you and Open-Faced are naturally compromising, even in unrelated moments like this. I wonder what's going on with the glitching on the screen.
No
It's
idea.
concerning.
It's
But-
also Murid, which wouldn't surprise me if that came from like him, but I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows? But that just isn't how fate works here. The truth to your fate is that you fucked around too much and now the clock fights against you. You could have melted the surrounding ice block and broken the hourglass in a grand metaphor. But you don't have any time left. You wasted it all. Is the waste class going to be canon? Is that what we're hinting at here?
No.
Oh. The rogue of mind has begun to lose his patience. He shouts in a mix of desperation and anger at a reviled setup. There are more than a few punches you should be pulling right now, and your relentless facade is almost full to bursting. You languish in a stew of your own slow-cooked juices and shortcomings. Heated by the fire of your first failure left uncalculated. You don't know how to handle that. But when a thief can't utilize their aspect for themselves, they take it from others. That's good thieving. And are left unable to question why they have done this. Instead, they move forward and never look back, even if they should. Oh.
There he
I
is.
like that.
There he is. The man himself.
Oh! Oh my god!
I was waiting for that.
Oh, I guess I have to actually give Edelon a proper voice now. He's been in it enough.
Also, maybe that wasn't Edelon back there because the font wasn't different.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't
that
know.
probably was not him. Oh well.
Oh, weirdo. Excellent use of time, sir. Yes, sir, this is the life.
That's another reference.
Oh. I will leave you to collect the rest of what's needed. Allow me to ensure the others are more prepared. Be the weird alchemist. The weird alchemist. I fucking hate this comic.
It's, it's so perfect.
Oh. Okay. You can't be the weird alchemist for reasons unknown. You can, however, momentarily be the corporate heir, unlocking a stronghold built by the bare hands of his bloodline. It was designed to keep others from corruption and from pain, but your species was born into pain, and you can only provide support by drowning them in more of it. You will soon own that burden, and you don't know how to prevent it.
To this day, I still don't know what's up with this dude.
So in the background, I'm not too good at my presidents. Is that Reagan? In the background.
Wait. Oh god, you're right.
Is that Reagan? I'm not great
probably.
at presidents.
I'm also wondering what the dots at the bottom are.
I don't know, they look like just something on a machine, or I don't know.
It looks significant. I can't trust
Yeah, yeah, you never really know, do you?
Okay. Hey there, cowboy. It's me. Same as I ever been. Since I've... let me start over. Hey there, cowboy. It's me. Same as I have ever been. Guess it's our time to shine. I'm being connected to you now. Caught up on the other prior chats to ensure that I am up to speed on information, special codes and the like, and I'm headed down to the first floor to ensure I'm closer to the outside since I'm next. Feel no need to reply to any of this, for whatever reason you may have. I'm not exactly chatty.
Another one that I just always completely forget the voice. Wow.
If I recall, he kind of sounded like Arcjack, but I don't remember what the difference was.
I think he's one of those ones I like barely give a voice to. You know. Well, I guess the claims were true. You're alive and well, but still just as much of an emotional stiff. I think that's just Arcjack now.
I've never heard Albion swear, so that kind of threw me
Yeah,
off.
that's like the first time Jade swore. That shook me up.
Fuck, I'm so sorry about what happened earlier. Can we pretend that didn't happen?
No. And I thought we agreed to drop the youngster code names you gave us a long ass time ago, citing that we were way too far past that point. God, I hate reading this. We were way too far past that point, and also that it was stupid.
Listen, if I get married, you get
Yeah,
this guy.
I know. I can't complain. That's fair.
I don't know what you're talking about. Do you have such an agreement? Oh, wait. I don't know what you're talking about. Do you have such an agreement in writing? And if so, is it notarized and punched in at least triplicate? If not, I could fine you for the injustice of lying. Were I to sick a private officer against you for a much larger sum than you would pay, it would be more stupid than the prior arrangement, but I would do it.
Well, if we're on the topic of not agreeing with things, I continue to not agree with you not telling me what happened to you earlier. I let you get away with it so much, but what you told me does not make this one of those times.
Can't I simply just yearn for a past sense of nostalgia?
Some other times, Star Child.
Not in this case, it's much different, but I don't think you'll be able to understand.
I think you skipped a line.
Oh fuck, I did. I don't think I'd really like to be called that anymore.
Oh, so it's okay for you to do it, but it isn't okay for me?
Not in this case, it's much different. But I don't think you'll be able to understand. I don't think anyone could.
I'd like to try. After what happened a few minutes ago, the last thing I want is for something to go unsaid.
Well, you don't have to worry about that, because we are now joined. Sorry if you're not really a fan of this, but I haven't seen you without the face napkin before.
I'm too worn out to feel self-conscious about it.
Oh, actually, hang on.
What part of you aren't getting out of this did you not comprehend? Get the lush out of your reverb chasms.
No, I mean, I'm getting some messages.
Sure you are, and I'm in critical condition, but you don't hear me complaining about it.
Are you? Why?
I'll give you exactly 3 guesses, and the first 2 start with bullshit.
I should have guessed sooner.
You would have still been right.
Seriously though, hold on.
Fine, but make it quick. Oh. There we go.
Yes? What? Okay. Hello?
Hello, Albion. Do me the favour of excusing anything my assistant might have typed which you may have found unfavourable. He is still learning. Actually, could you tell him thank you for me, please? I have my hands full and he learns best through affection.
Thank you, Rogi.
Yeah.
I love Rogi.
He's growing on me.
He's trying his best. I'm actually on a bit of a tight schedule right now. What do you need me for?
Simply wondering if you have those texts on the increasing status of entropy that I lent you.
Osseous, the schedule remains tight.
You can take pictures if you have to. I just need to make sure my reference compendium is calibrated properly before I go with you all.
What exactly are you planning to do here? This isn't a class trip to the nearby leisure hostel. You aren't expecting to keep all of this, are you?
I have to try at least. So much time and effort was spent on this. It just isn't reasonable to leave it all behind. This is all I have keeping me aloft with the smoggy winds of change around us. Besides, what if it doesn't all go to plan? What if the planet still needs this research? There's absolutely no proof that this is truly the end for us all. We have a few hundred sweeps until we get there. Perhaps even longer if I can collect myself.
I like that Osseous so far has been the only person who's actually, like, concerned about his things when it comes to, like, meteor crashes and entering a game.
No one seems to care.
I think Calder probably asked about it at one point, and I think Murray told him, like, yeah, don't worry about it. But everyone else, nah. As much as I could say about this, I'll just ask you a more important question in return. Does Elsie know how you feel about this? The first person you should talk to about this is her. Firstly, because she is your mate Sprit. Secondly, because I don't know where these texts are.
I don't want to bother her about my trifles. She has so many of her own problems that it would just be aggravating going from anguish to anguish like that. As close as our bond is, there is something to be said about leaving personal space.
There is also such a thing as too much personal space. This is something you are known to give. You don't even come to me unless you need something, or want me to pass along a message.
Albion, I haven't felt a single pang of pain. No lack of will, no lack of energy. There have been no withdrawals within me, outside of the withdrawal that I am currently having from my life's work. And if my dear had any issue between us, I am more than certain that she would tell me, wouldn't she? I don't appreciate the insinuation that I do not keep tabs on those I hold dear, including yourself. This is just my job. This is how I live. No progress means no grants from corporate to continue as I have been, which leaves me out of purpose and out of any chance to make it. This is all I have.
If this is all you have, then maybe you should reconsider your values.
Excuse me?
I'm just saying that you're more than your work, and you should try to realize that. I must also stress to you, for what seems like the millionth time, this suspension of aid you need, it isn't a part of our division, but I need to go. Oh wait, yeah,
Yeah.
it isn't a part of our division, but I need to go. Maybe talk to Silva if you need a friend. She will probably be better about this topic, much more than me.
Fine, I will concede that much. But I would like to continue this conversation with you later, if it permits. Might do me well. And if you get a second, then you know.
Yes, text, I've got it.
Thank you for speaking with me. Vogie, end communication. Oh.
The one thing that bothers me about Albion's quirk is that she tends to split up sentences, so I tend to not know when to stop a sentence and start a new one.
Yeah. It's a confusing one. Sometimes.
Hey, sorry about that. I had to solve some problems. I do that sometimes. It's kind of my thing.
You know, I never thought you were very good at that.
You didn't?
I used to think you were, but most of the problems we have can't really just be solved through calm words and sage advice that smells like lilac.
Didn't you send FF to me for help that... For... Wait, I think a word is missing here. For help that once, though?
I think that was for help that one time. I think that's supposed to mean.
Didn't you send FF to me for help once, though? I think
Yeah, that makes sense too. Yeah. I sent her to you because I actually trust you, and because I knew it would calm her down. But despite my best efforts, she is still an anxious wreck like no other troll I've come across. It's kind of like these scars I have. Sure, they don't hurt after I get them, but they're always there, and I still hate having to look at them and remember what they came from. You don't solve problems, you make people feel better. And that isn't bad. I know it helped me a lot. So I'd really like to be able to return the favour. Otherwise how uneven we are is gonna eat me forever.
I'll try my best to try and think about it, but it can't happen now like you want. We need to start.
You just want me to keep making me... You just want to keep making me go lax on my morals. Just because I can actually... Just because I can actually breathe calmly around you doesn't mean you get to reach around and snag my determination on getting you to open up and snag my determination on getting you to open up away. It's a confusing sentence.
If I promise to tell you later, will you let me call you Cowboy again? Well?
Oh, hey, Austin. Yes. That's my line.
Hi, Austin. I knew you would see it my way. Are you ready?
No, but let's pretend I am anyways. Can you do me one more favour, though? Can you find another band... Oh, can you find another yeah. Can you find another bandana in here to give me? My arm is broken.
Oh yeah, I forgot his arm is broken.
Yeah, kind of buried the lead there.
Real quick, let me see if Albion actually talks here. I don't think she does. Nah, she doesn't.
Spoilers.
Okay. Sorry.
Kidding.
Whoops.
I'm kidding.
I know. But something's going on.
Yeah.
Hey there, Albion. Sorry, I'm sure you're expecting me to respond with a pep in my step, but my peps have become stepped on rather than the other way around. I hope you're doing okay, though. I have no clue when you'll have a chance to read, since I think you and Dismas are in the middle of things when I'm writing this. But anyways, I think I might run a bit late.
What is
There's
going on
something
here?
going on outside still. Yeah, there are things happening.
Yeah.
There's something going on outside still, and Lefty was screaming up a storm, but now she stopped. I didn't want to think much of it, but I'm too worried to not check now. Not sure if Silva told you this was happening or not from our last conversation. She isn't doing so hot right now, I don't think. No idea why. Anyways, I think we still have a while, but I just wanted to let you know. Talk to you again soon, which we should definitely do more often. Bye! Find out what all the commotion is. You reclass your hard hat and start to zip out as fast as you can. You are really hoping nothing else decides to get in your way and keep you from obtaining your goals. goddamn
Ah. I knew something was gonna happen, but there's nothing on. Good evening. Good evening once more, Miss Helilo. Helilo. Whatever. May I come in? Please just slam the door. Yes.
Same. Me too. Oh. God damn it. God, I forgot he does that shit.
Wow. I did the voice from like it was a few minutes ago that I got a voice I liked from and I can't remember how I did it. Wow.
Yeah, that just fucking killed me the first time I saw it.
Yeah. That was great. That was great.
Yeah, me too.
It's an old gag, but it works. It still works. Wow. I seriously can't believe a fellow jokester would fall for that. The projection and misdirection is the oldest trick in the book. Granted, my disposition to it is natural. Still, you allowed me to casually get onto your couch in front of you, therefore granting me dominance over this situation. A classic mistake, truly. But comedic rules are rules like any other.
Get out!
No.
That response.
I don't think you fully realise the position you're in.
You said you wouldn't contact me again.
But I never said I wouldn't see you, now did I? I had to come for an important reason. Besides, it's been much too long. Pleasure to remake your acquaintance. I don't like this guy.
Remake his acquaintance. He just got nail gunned.
Oh.
I'm going to give you 10 nails to leave my fucking hive, and I'm already at 3.
Just for a second, I know that's a mirror, but for a second I thought she just had a picture of him for some reason.
Oh my god. I didn't even notice that. That's great. You know, just casually having a picture of your worst enemy. And not in a romantic sense.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You know, there's a lot to be said about the idea of pain. These nails, for instance, believe it or not, they did hurt. And even when I move forward and try to pick the nail out, all it does is continue to produce more pain. The suffering doesn't stop once you unroot a single cause, because who can say that the pain won't come again? You said I have 7 more nails to go if I refuse to leave. Each one I get will be equally as painful as the 3 that came before it, if not more so with the wounds afflicted. The new pain moulds into the previous pain, until it all collects into a hulking mass of unimaginable and intensive agony. But most are never able to make it down to that rock bottom, not in physical nor emotional, because after a while, the very idea of pain when dealt in excess, no matter what causes it, ends up becoming simply meaningless.
God, that writing though.
Ugh. I don't expect you to know what I'm talking about yet. Even if you did, I'm not allowed to hurt you as you hurt me. Like it or not, you aren't meant for such minor tragedy. What you're needed for is far greater.
Yeah, he's fucking scary.
Yeah. You just pulling those nails out like it's...
I hate him, but I love him.
And just the whole, yeah. This guy's good, creepy writing. I don't know how else to say that. I truly didn't want you to believe that you are in need of help like the rest of the living corpses dwelling within this unending trench. You have proven to me otherwise tonight, Miss Helilo. Your entire clique has proven to us otherwise.
Also, what kind of fucking strength does he have? Jesus.
Yeah. Like it or not, you need us, and we need something from you before we are allowed to move forward with our statement.
And there go the rest of the nails.
Yep. Consider this situation mutually beneficial for the both of us. Are the smiling faces of thousands enough for you to understand? I doubt it. Whoa. You need to learn when
You
to...
leave my daughter alone!
Yeah. You need to learn when to lie down and play the part you're meant to. Comic relief. This is what separates us. Whew.
Methinks your definition of the word help is a bit askew. I would give you negative 12 stars if you're able to be rated as my help. Nobody in their right mind would get you to help them again. You would be bankrupted from the helper business. And what do you mean mutually beneficial?
Exactly what it means is what I mean. What else would I mean?
You're not benefiting me in any way. You're giving me the raw deal. I don't even know what I'm giving you either. This exchange has no set parameters, and also you suck.
She's not wrong.
Nice comeback.
Okay, then allow me to lay down the line very clearly for you. You have something that I want, and I am giving you and your group of special friends something they need.
A tacky set of ropes and a prolonged sense of inadequacy?
That was almost funny. Keep it up. But no, assimilating you all isn't our goal. You have places to be, don't you?
How do you know?
Because it has been etched in because it has been etched into this world from the very start. Most choose not to rationalize it, but some trolls are more meaningful than others. You have been chosen. There isn't anything I would do to change that. Because through your actions and his influence, we will become a reborn society, free from the aforementioned pain this life brings, celebrating through laughter and pleasure until the bittersweet end. But to do that, we need your cooperation.
Well, tough shit, Loser. You may not realize it, but I continue to be nowhere near the realm of giving a solitary care about anything you say or do.
I figured you and the others may think that. It took a while to get everything under control, but luckily it makes it to where I don't do much of the talking. Seems your lot need a decent bit less chatter to get things done. That must be why not a single one of you have entered without some sort of issue cropping up. But now we have something to make the transition from here to there even faster. Ooh, nice. Allow me to show you what I mean. Show her what you mean.
Show her what you mean.
What?
My God.
This isn't good.
Her face. I love her faces so much.
Impressive, is it not? We didn't even have to cover that we opened the horrorcore dimension.
Horrorcore.
Nobody believed it was real or that it could be done. Even Hogan was scrubbed clean in the eyes of public record. We really outdid ourselves. All for the sake of you. All for the sake of this planet.
Look at his smug fucking expression.
Yeah.
He's really proud of himself.
But that isn't to say there was not already a set presence. The opening has been tampered with in the past, and it allowed for some more unsavoury aspects of our world to be let loose. The parasites are one such creature, but that is setting the bar pretty low. I'm looking to grab something bigger, something that has fully integrated itself, something that is known yet unknown, something that we left behind.
No, you aren't allowed to use that pun.
I don't get the pun. What?
I actually don't know what the pun is.
Left behind?
Wanna help explain
I
it?
don't know.
Because I totally missed...
Oh, yes, of course.
God, right.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
We failed.
Too late. Dismas panicked for like the 5th time tonight.
Poor Dismas.
Great, cool, nice. Thanks for bumping into my arm again with a giant pointer. Totally not really painful. My arm is now in at least 9 pieces and has the consistency of gruel. Of gravel.
Gravel.
I think gruel works as well. Want to bang it up another 3 times and really just make it perfect? I hear it's good luck.
You need to
Some
relax.
water.
I was able to get wrapped up.
Silly. I bet you're telling me to relax right now. I can't read it, but I just know you're preaching to me and trying to sell me down your spiritually lazy river. Fake news flash. I've already been down one tonight, just in case life forgot about that.
Oh my god, right. He's not reading your dialogue. He's basically just yelling at himself.
That was great.
Yes, I am telling you to relax because you very much need to relax. You're basically babbling right now.
Fuck, I'm basically babbling right now.
Are you sure you can't read these?
I think I'm very quickly catching the no idea what I'm doing contagion going around. I should know what in the fresh fuck I am doing, but I don't.
Okay, you can't. That's good. But how about that chill pill?
Why can't the helping hand guidebook EO told us about be written in plain current text and not this wise-ass all-knowing text? Why the Baron meets the Bloom? I'm thinking more along the lines of, where the hell does that even mean? The only thing that blooms here are when the butcher link sprouts are in season. We turn over everything in here except for the floorboards. Nothing to discover outside. There is no way forward. Game over, I guess.
So that's it then. You get roughed up this much, trudge through the uphill battle, and then quit? Doesn't sound like the troll I once met. Then again, I'm sure I don't sound the same either. Maybe we have all changed today.
So I guess now we sit here and wait for the end of the world like we're supposed to. I didn't think it would happen like this, but oh well. Working with my infernal machine alone took up more time than it was worth, both here and with Moet. On top of dealing with my aching and pathetic rawhide husk of a body. I just knew something would bite me in the ass. There was just never any way around it.
I think there is. I just don't think you've thought of it yet.
Maybe, just maybe, the mutilation fairy will grant me one wish if I think hard enough about not wanting to die. Perhaps the beatings I've sustained will allow me the right of getting one favour. I never get those.
I just did you one a bit ago.
Is you favour?
Well, oh, right. Well.
Albion, I don't have a sharp object anywhere within range, so I'm gonna need you to poke whoever this is really fast until they die.
Well, as you know, I'm supposed to be a pacifist, but just looking at him and being told what I should do, I feel strongly inclined to agree to your terms.
Weird out is the it is?
Yep, it's him.
Oh my god.
The man himself. God, I love this art.
You tell Edgy that if he tries anything, I've got to go on the link.
Assume is a song.
Oh.
It's a weird album.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever. Can't be bothered to watch the whole thing. You tell Edgy that if he tries anything, you'll sue him for making it seem like you're a criminal by breaking and entering through time and space. Besides, he's going to want to put this in his malformed jaws.
You really need to listen to some Weird Al songs after this.
Yeah, I know. I feel like maybe you should narrate for him, because you're like, you know what the references are, you know? I don't know.
And eat it.
It's like, I don't... Oh, no, I do know that one. But like, I could tell that was the reference I wasn't getting, so...
Also, that is really fucking cool.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna say it. That's impressive. I'm in the please never do that again or I might scream kind of way.
Don't encourage him.
Why is he here?
Because he's, like, making all of this bullshit happen.
I guess so.
Basically what he's doing is, he's basically helping them get into the session faster, but I don't really know why he's doing this. These things have been insulting and crowding you since you finished working with Dismas. They were there with him, too. You think they might be going after everyone, and that it has something to do with that very weird man. Try as you might, though. Try as your ancestors stressed you should. As angry as you get and as much as you scream, these things are unflinching and fearless, and despite you being able to kill one of their grunts, they don't seem to feel any. Your situation feels hopeless.
We'll figure out
Oh
later,
yeah, I
apparently.
just got that she's essentially
Oh,
using her own rage to fight
Hmm.
against them.
Yeah.
Because she grew up with the lesson of don't get angry.
Hmm.
Never let yourself get angry. Always be
That's...
calm at all times.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is
That's
a good
not...
contrast to
Yeah.
that. Since her ancestor told her, no, you have to get mad.
Yeah. I mean... Yeah, you have to sooner or later. It's not healthy.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, here we go. But now that you know what I'm here for, there is no way I can let you interfere. This was going to happen one way or another. I feel sorry about it. Don't worry though, I have everything taken care of. What are you doing? Oh. Hmm.
They're not actually trying to kill them.
Yeah. Who
Um,
wants to be who then?
I'll be Serpaz.
Oh wait, I
Oh
just
wait,
realized. I
no,
just
no, 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 no,
realized
no, no,
it's
it's
not
not.
Serp.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
realized it's not Serpaz. Yeah.
Yeah, I just had a little
The
look at the.
font change.
Yeah.
God, I didn't even realize that. Okay. Serpaz, are you here now? Can you see me? Can you get me out of here?
Well, that all purely depends on you. Will you behave for me?
You aren't Serpaz. Serpaz never talks so eloquently, or uses capital letters, or such a bad font quirk.
Ouch. You know this is indicative of my culture as much as her quirk is. Very perceptive, though. I expected nothing less from you.
What did you do to her?
The same thing I'm going to do to you, of course. Make things just a little bit easier on all of us. I see the others have already made a stellar first impression. Don't worry, they aren't allowed to hurt you.
Then what are they here for?
Didn't I just say? To help.
Is that really all you're after? Because there are much better ways to do it. How do you even know us?
I have my connections and a very talented teacher. A better question might be how I wouldn't know you by now. I've been waiting to meet you all of my life.
If you're implying that our souls resonate, then I will not hesitate to teach you otherwise.
Pardon me, bad phrasing on my part. That wasn't an advance, just a little bit of excitement for everything coming together as planned. I'm no longer available regardless. You have nothing to fear.
What you say and what I experience are two separate things.
Really? I've been under the impression that we both feel the same way.
Is the font slightly different on the last line? It looks
Is
like
it?
very slightly different. I know it's not like significant.
I don't
It's just
know.
something I noticed.
A tiny bit smaller? I don't know. From what I understand, you wanted to salvage the world and save everyone and everything in it. Very bold of you. It's befitting of what you are able to see. I also want to save this world and allow it to become reborn. That's why I'm going through all of this for you.
What do you get out of it in that case? This world is ending. We were already told about it well in advance. Should you not know the same?
I'm aware of what I should believe. What made you think otherwise?
I had no choice. I watched it happen in front of me. I watched it get ripped and beaten with my own eye.
Then perhaps you didn't realise what you see yet. Because if you did, you would know that you were right the first time, and not fall for such a clear ploy from an incompetent mediator to keep your head in the game. Speaking of, it's showtime. Dismas and Albion.
Look at that gentle
Nice.
boy. Gentle,
Yeah.
scary boy.
Nice. Maybe he can be hugged after all.
Cat. Her face.
Oh my god, that's great. Ugh.
Wonk.
There's some good faces going around here.
Yeah.
Don't know what else to say. Really. So Weird Al has come with him into the game. Good.
I don't know, did he?
Yeah, he's there. Oh wait, they're not in. What am I talking about? As
Yeah, not quite in yet.
yeah, I don't know what. Never mind, I'm being dumb. I'm just kind of clicking through the. Can't really.
What is
There's
that
an
flashing? I'm seeing a
flash it.
flashing
I,
in Oh, I see it now.
I think you're a little ahead of me. That's the problem when you got so many panels without dialogue.
Yeah. It's on 744.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I'm there now. I see. What is that? Hmm. Not sure.
It's interesting is what it is.
Yeah.
God damn, Al.
Yeah. Holy shit. And oh, we're in. Oh yeah, so Weird Al isn't coming with, which I'm alright with.
Spooked.
Oh, Dream Albion Awaken.
A part of you finally cracks open tired eyes and arises on the moon of Prospit. There is something indescribable about the feeling you get upon stretching and looking around the room. The air feels warm and inviting, as if the temperature is set to be consistently in tune with the weather as after a new sweep's first solstice. Secure, like something akin to a wholesome caress on a cold night, or a personally tailored blanket made with love in the stitches. Soper lingers on your skin and your garment, leaving you with a fuzzy sensation tingling across your nerves right down to your bare soul. Dream Albion Explore. The feeling continues to follow you as you set foot to floor and as you set foot to floor. I think it has to be to the floor.
I think it works.
Or actually, I don't know.
It
It's worded
works.
weirdly.
Just kind of like poetic wording. I think it works.
Probably. Okay. The feeling continues to follow you as you set foot to floor and gaze out the window. Okay, yeah, it does make
Like set pen to paper, you know.
Yeah. Words begin to travel through you. Words begin to travel through you. Thoughts of description you didn't know you could have. Everything is hazy yet familiar even still. I just don't know how to be poetic. I'm sorry. It must have been a long time.
Oh.
No. No, it has been a long time. Way too long. There they are.
Ah.
You really missed this.
Ah.
They're adorable.
Ah.
Let's see, who wants to be who?
I mean, I can be.
You
Oh,
can
Art
be-
Check's there as well, so someone's
Yeah.
gotta be too.
Hold on.
I mean, you're normally Laven, aren't you?
Yeah.
So, yeah, whatever.
I'll be Laven and Albion. Well, hey there. I have to be honest, I didn't at all expect you to be up this early. I think you need to learn to expect the unexpected a little more than you do. I've been working on it. Working hard or hardly working? I'm going to say both.
Oh, sorry. Oh
You're
wait, no.
supposed to say something nice back to the lady, man.
Sorry, I think you cut out for a second a bit. It's...
Did I?
Sorry, that's just why I got confused, but we're good.
Okay. You're supposed to say something nice back to the lady, man. This guy constantly gets up on the wrong side of the everything. Not sure how he was able to get up. He's always way too preoccupied with busting his own chops and slipping comedically on his tears to notice small things like the two fresh adult trolls in front of him having a conversation. So I came out here to take one for the team and teach him some proper etiquette. Pretty sure I'm the only one who can.
I noticed Dreamlaven doesn't have like his breathing issues.
Yeah,
I know that's
because
like a thing with Dream cells.
Yeah, because the concept is that your dream self is essentially yourself without flaws.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, like I don't know, I feel like it's kind of
Which is actually why Dorothy is still blind in her dream self, because that's not considered a flaw for her.
Yeah, it's like Tavros. He could walk and stuff.
He could fly.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, but yes, he can use his legs.
Yeah. What did he
And
say
Vriska
this?
has all of her parts.
Yeah. Well, Chula still couldn't smell, which is weird. I don't know if that
I don't even
means
know about
she's like,
Latula.
but
I
I
don't even know
mean,
about Latula Man.
yeah, I mean, yeah. Who cares?
Oh yeah, that's true. They don't have their quirks either.
Oh, yeah, they actually do. Which is good. Easier to read.
Yeah. I'm very thankful for that. Okay. Yeah.
uh,
Yeah,
yeah.
actually, yeah, that's right. I remember there being subtle differences to Homestuck's dream
Yeah, the
songs.
thing with, like, like you say, the roleplay modifiers, I was kind of wondering if that was just, like, I mean, it's a stylistic choice or not, I don't know. Because, of course, Homestuck doesn't do that.
Yeah, we still need to remember that this is not Suburb. This is different.
Yeah. But if they're not going to give it a name, then I don't know what else I'm supposed to call it.
It's just called the game right now.
Fine.
Will probably remain so until the foreseeable future.
Hmm. That's me, wasn't it? Oh, so you want to talk etiquette, huh? How about I start us off with an appetizer with gourmet pre-packaged 5-layer shit dip that tastes like what your biased interpretation of the word means? I think I kind of finally figured out the difference between Arcjek and Dismas's voices. Just Arcjek sounds
Yeah.
more bored, I guess.
Yeah.
Like less energy.
I mean, me too.
Yeah,
I feel that.
it's an easy role for me.
Yeah.
Comes naturally. Sprawling me out sprawling me out on a makeshift paper mat is not mutually exclusive to any variation of decorum.
If you saw how you slept, you would know that's wrong.
How did you expect me to read all of that? How did you expect me to read all of those for the purpose of catching me up to speed? There was sweeps worth of material, and a majority of the ones you made me look at just talked about how good you were at buying the papers.
Well, like I said, it wasn't really my choice.
And like I said, I don't really believe your short-mouthed attempt to cover up your borderline fetishistic affinity for newsprint. I found your canine back end hanging out of my window unconscious. Pretty compromising position for someone who claims to know so much to be in.
Oh yeah, that was White Noise's doing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what exactly do you mean by not your choice? That sounds like exactly the kind of choice you would make. You don't really have the gall to pull a fast one on anybody, Liven. Sorry to say. Well, I would tell you, but Arcjek didn't say hi back to you, so you're going to have to suffer for his crimes. Arcjek, you are ruining this for me. I think you might need a lesson in etiquette and a lesson in hospitality. Would you like me to teach you? It would only cost you a greeting, and you would gain my eternal gratitude.
Would you like me to teach you how to nab pus from all of the digestion pool ulcers your vodded sweet talk is providing me?
Depends on what I would gain from such an offer.
My eternal gratitude.
God. I do love Dream Arcjek.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. It's going
all fuzzy.
fuzzy. Andy's like
Yeah,
happy
it was
for
like
a
that
moment.
it was actually like that the first time we saw him too, when he was lying in that newspaper bed.
Oh.
Like you see a very brief glimpse of him being happy.
Hmm.
And it's the same case here too.
Hmm.
It's like very subtle.
Yeah, that's like a frame or two.
This is just a him thing. You're gonna want to let him be. We can save the greetings for later, since you both need to be caught up to speed on what's happening here.
My fucking head hurts more just listening to this.
Can I get a recap on what you have gone over this far? Yes. First things first, you are on a moon called Prospit. It's pretty nice, and it has a bunch of stark white and sometimes stark black guys meandering around doing their thing. Normally they will all stare at you,
Unrelentingly.
but that means they like you. Does this lead into you telling me about the window scenario? I'm pretty eager to hear all about that. Like I said, that wasn't exactly me. It was more like the me within me. Sorry to interrupt. I promise I'm listening. But is he supposed to keep doing that? Is that also a him thing? I don't know. He won't tell me about why it's happening. Apparently it makes his head hurt, though.
Don't respond, just keep looking forward so they stop talking to you.
This does tie back to the major crux of this conversation, though. It might come as a shock to you, so like, if you don't want me to rock your world, just say so. Well, if I'm going to get the most out of what my time here has to offer, I think knowing the parameters may be for my benefit, don't you? To an extent, we don't really have any. Why not? Because we aren't real. Not real? That doesn't feel world-rocking, that just sounds off-putting. I am very real right now. I'm really here with you guys. I really feel myself hovering over golden towers. I really feel happy that I'm awake. What does that mean if this whole thing isn't real? You're kind of taking it in the overly logical way. I like to see it in the nice way. Is there a nice way to not exist? I think you're too focused on the not existing part. It's kind of an oversimplification on my end.
It's kind of annoying to hear you talk about this again on my end.
Do you want to talk or do you not? You have to pick one, dude.
Well, if I'm not real, I don't need to be bound by the living ideals of choice now, do I? Do you hear that? It's me listening to your philosophy burn to an agonizingly tender crisp in my fireplace of garbage ideology. Checkmate, gods.
Sarcastic bitch.
Oh, heart check.
What I'm saying is that it's more that we're an extension of realness. Whose realness? Our own. So we're someone else? Kind of, but not really. I like this art.
Yeah.
Life is just like, whoops.
Guess I'll die.
Also, I like that. I guess I'll die. It's bleeding static too in that example.
Yeah.
There are other versions of me and you out there in this big space that surrounds us. They're going there in order to fulfill a duty that will be extremely taxing on both the mind and the body. We give them a break from that. We're us and they are them. But we are also them and they're us, but in a different way. Not quite sure I follow. I don't think there's... Oh, sorry. It's you.
Yeah, just... yeah, this is interesting. So it's like... They don't... like, waking and dream cells don't seem to, like, share a consciousness so much. It's like, they kind of, like... Yeah, like... I mean, they're obviously linked because they're, like, the same person to an extent, but...
Yeah, they're, like, the same person, but at the same time they're not.
Yeah,
so...
and, like, they don't seem to be aware of the fact that, you know, they're, like, an alternate version of someone else.
Yeah, they're not... They're linked to each other, but not, like, in... I'm going to go ahead and assume that if they're asleep and the other is awake, that doesn't apply here like it applied in Hope.
Yeah, probably not. But yeah, it's interesting. I don't think there's really a correct way to do so.
Okay, good example, What's a good example? Alright, think about a mirror. You know how when you look into a mirror, sometimes you check yourself out and you're just thinking, wow, I wish I was somehow better than I am. All the time, dude. Actually, no, because I just woke up, but continue. Okay, real quick,
Yeah.
that comment that Albion makes, I think that shows that, yeah, they aren't actually, like, physically connected to their quote-unquote real selves.
Yeah.
Because I think Dream Albion would remember how her real self is. I assume,
yeah.
otherwise. But anyway.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, we're the something better on the other side for them. Projections of what they want to be, sort of like an idealized, modified extension of who they truly are.
He says because of this that we are basically moon freeloaders with the gift of being able to do whatever we want. We can't die because the bozos flapping around like us are still alive, and that any attempt to do so will be swiftly countered just by magic. No consequences and no masters, just fun, which sounds incredibly fake. I'm sure my true self would agree on this.
Okay, that's a major difference. Their dream cells literally cannot die.
Yeah, that could come in handy.
Yeah, that explains the static in the middle picture. You get stabbed, nothing happens. So yeah, that's that's a major difference.
Yeah.
You're probably some odd exception to the rule because of course you are. Maybe when your guy comes in, you can find out what's wrong with you.
You say that as if the answer's not been spit shine clear as the eye-burning yellow soup we currently inhabit.
But you only know this because of the other you, right? The one that is actually in a hypothetical mirror? Yeah, he knows a lot about how this place works and why it works because he was able to get here a lot earlier. So I've been up and around a lot longer than you two, and I've been able to learn a lot more. Took a long while to finally get everything, but I feel pretty lucky that I'm the one getting all the insider information. Where's your real self then? Maybe we can ask him to give us a whole scoop. Well, it's a bit more complex than that. We can only communicate with the true when the true self goes to sleep. Okay, never mind. Even then, it isn't really so much communication so much as it is you kind of become a passenger in your own consciousness and blend in with them. We exist so they can learn things. We learn things too, just not all at once. Kind of like a weird shared osmosis. Like, my true self has some sort of lung problem that he thinks hold him back, and he's honestly got some mad secret self-esteem issues. Really just kind of scared of being himself because he thinks he's too average. I don't get it. I like him. But it took me a long time to learn even that basic stuff. It's always vague until you put the pieces together in this weird cross-connected puzzle. It sets up a path and gives you some idea of the follow-through. My follow-through is giving you guys information and making sure things are okay. Yours will probably be something really different depending on them.
It is interesting how this works.
Yeah.
The shared consciousness, but in a different way to Homestuck.
Oh yeah, and that's another difference with Dream Liven is that he actually talks a lot more. Not just because of the lung condition, but I guess because of Liven's self-esteem issues.
Yeah,
So he doesn't talk all that much.
Yeah.
So he's a lot more confident here.
Yeah.
This really opens up a lot of hypothetical mirrors. Do you think my true self is nice? Or cool? Maybe even popular? And if I'm her ideal self, what does that say about me? Oh god, I hope I'm not smelly garbage compared to her. What if I can't compete? I'll bet she's perfect.
If it makes you feel better, I'm sure she won't be.
That does make me feel a bit better, actually. Thank you.
Just following through.
I think this Arctic complains a lot more.
Yeah, I'm not sure how this is his ideal self. But,
yeah. You might just be thinking about this way too hard. The point is we're here now. You worry about the real you. You worry about the real you when they come. Because right now, I think I need to be selfish and give you guys the grand tour. There's a lot to see, and really I'm just excited to show you guys everything. Guess you should lead the way then, shouldn't you? Guess I will.
Guess you will.
The three dreamers move forwards towards discovery above. And a vigilant protector runs to greet two distinguished guests to the White King and Queen's royal court for a matter of the utmost urgency. VP, don't panic. You're having a real hard time with that, all things considered. The heat is on and the hypothetical fire burning between two opposing sides is white hot. Not to imply that using that terminology means you only have feelings for those on your side or anything. You just have a job, and a job requires a little bit of skepticism in times of crisis. Oh shoot. Oh lord.
Oh, this...
The cavalry's arrived.
Yeah. Oh god.
BLC.
Hey.
After your memo falls flat on its face, you've spent the rest of this long evening receiving some unwanted attention and combing through another section in your reread of your ancestors' tome. Your focus is interrupted as your Lucis comes to you. They couldn't be willing to speak on a night where they vow silence, could they? You know how much this means to them. They wouldn't do something like this without reason. You're gonna have... Well, do you want to voice a Chimera Pan? Because that one's gonna be interesting.
I mean, yeah, it would make sense too. Since, you know, you're Elsie.
You'll You'll see why I say that.
Oh, yeah.
There are 3 of them.
uh, I don't know.
I'll pick one of the chimeras.
Okay. Uh, I mean, do you know which is which? Because I don't know.
I mean, they have their own names.
Yeah, just like I mean, like which is which head, I guess.
I have absolutely no idea.
That's fair.
I'll be Ayala.
Okay, I have no idea what voice to do for the. I guess deep.
Shrug. Try your best. Good luck.
Have you not? No. Oh.
Okay, that's
Thank
good
you.
to know.
So lion. What does a lion sound like?
Just watch the live action Lion King, it'll be sure to tell you.
I mean, if I could do like a Mufasa impression, but I can't. Have you?
You can try.
I
mean, it doesn't
no.
matter all that much.
No, I'm not even too sure what he would sound like. To be honest, it's been a long time. Have you not been listening to what we've been doing outside? You can't slack on being alert. There are guidelines you must follow. We've been over this.
We were worried sick.
Snake. We should not have let her talk us into letting her leave earlier. She is further distressed. Yeah. As she should be, considering what is happening.
The first time you speak on your day of remembrance... the first time you speak on your day of remembrance ever, and your first words are to chastise me? Well, we wouldn't have to if you came outside. Why would I go outside?
Because we were signaling a threat. This is very unlike you.
You guys have no idea what I've just been through.
Very doubtful. You didn't tell us, but I knew.
Sure. Nothing ever good happens out here when you guys are on watch. You've all realized that, right? This is why I tried to spell guard, so nobody can see me and you guys and let me reread that. This is why I tried to spell guard, so nobody can see me and you guys can go about whatever your business is. Grooming, sleeping, however you guys use the bathroom, etc. The tent is unseen to the normal troll, and you guys can deal with what you see as a threat as you would like. I'm trying really hard to cancel it out right now. It's never good news, and you're scaring Arjax Lucis too. He's been vibrating so hard that I'm pretty dang sure it cracked some sort of shake barrier. Poor thing.
He should be grateful we allow him here. He should be doing his job as we do ours. You should have left him at the estate.
Seems like a little limey girl is cranky today. I've had a really, really extremely shitty night, and it doesn't look like it's going to end. You were doing fine earlier. What made you so grumpy? Do you want to tell us about it? I'm just trying to do some studying, the kind you guys always try to tell me to do. Except tonight, obviously.
Well, we speak now on your behalf. You know of the consequences otherwise.
Exactly, I know. Now, please, I'm trying to do something for my friends. Friends?
Oh no, you should definitely have not gone.
Don't be so cruel, she can't help what happened.
She can't help what will happen either, if what she said is to be taken into account. It might actually explain this. Come and see now.
Look outside.
Okay.
Yeah, some shit happened.
These
Guess by who?
Yeah. These mechanical inquisitors were sent in too great a number to be mere coincidence. Yet another attempt on your gifts.
You did bring up your friends. Do any of them know where you are?
Besides the 3 we have approved of and accounted for.
Elsie, try not to scream. Wait.
Another good
know.
face.
I couldn't tell you for the life of me. It sure is a mystery, isn't it?
Please stop yelling. You must tell us exactly what you are going through tonight. We are only here to aid you. Clearly you know something, and we can't do anything if you don't tell us.
Even besides tonight, we have been super quiet with you on a guidance basis lately. The older you get, the more it seems we all drift apart.
We know you are needed, just as she was, but we must know what you want. Especially now. It seems as if your time is coming sooner than we originally anticipated.
I know you guys are just trying to help. These stupid little things could have killed me otherwise. But I'm working on my own goal right now. And I can probably make this stop if I just show my friends how much they need me.
You should not talk to strangers. They could be a predator.
Or a demon.
Or another foolish child.
Sounds like a parent in the early 2000s telling their kid to be careful on the internet. It's not like that! But how would we know? We've never met them.
We should meet them. I don't want to meet them.
You most certainly do.
I don't like demons or predators. I would debone them with every claw were they to come here.
Or you would cry.
He does do that sometimes. I've seen it. That moment was intimate and you know it!
And meeting her other friends aren't just as intimate a moment?
I do not enjoy weeping. The liquid stains my coat.
God.
Ugh.
While your everlasting guardian continues to squabble outside, you slink back into your tent to see if his messages are still there. Sure enough, they are, mocking you silently with their presence. It's well against your better judgment to do something like this, but you're so upset that you could very well use an emotional punching bag to relieve all the pent-up stress you've been saving for your whole life. He probably needs it anyways. Trolls of his kind don't deserve sympathy for how they act.
Oh yeah. Here we go. It's well against my better judgment to do something like this. But before leaving your memo, you seemed so upset that you could have very well needed an emotional punching bag to relieve all of the pent-up stress you have been saving. Perhaps for your whole life. You probably need it anyways. I'm sure you think trolls of my kind don't deserve sympathy for how they act.
If anything, I was under the impression that you didn't need me, not the other way around.
That was most certainly the impression I gave. However, even the most unsympathetic of us can stand to admit when they are wrong.
And what exactly is it you found yourself wrong about? Do you have a set of points? Remember, points are totally meaningless when they don't amount to anything, especially when you don't even take the half a second to hear them.
Are you planning on goading me with a mince of my own words this whole conversation? Or do you actually want to know why I've decided to degrade myself by coming here?
Dunno, I'm starting to like the sound of mincing.
Then I'll make my intentions clear enough to get your attention. I want your help.
Yeah? Well, I want a lot of things. Most of which I can't even begin to explain to you because I'm pretty sure your thick skull and stiff lower lip couldn't comprehend what it means to want this kind of thing. Congratulations on being so blessed. But you aren't blessed enough for me to want any secondhand consecration you can offer. If anything, I'm anti-gaining from the prospect of giving you anything.
Do you want an apology? Does that rank anywhere on your long list of desires?
No. Because I know you don't mean anything by it.
Just what makes you so sure? This isn't the past, it's the present.
It's been an hour and a half at best.
My point still stands. Talking this over is in your best interest because, in return, I can offer you what you want most. I don't need to know what tops any list to see what it is.
Give me a quick second, my mic is crackling and I can hear it.
Oh, sure.
This happens sometimes.
Cool, yeah.
Hello?
Hello?
Okay, we're good now.
Oh, cool.
So now you want to try and pretend like you know anything about me after all the effort you spent pushing me away? Sorry, pal, but that last monorail already left the station.
I had more than enough reason to leave, but upon reflection, the weight of what your memo implied did strike me, and like a newly crafted grub lacking sight, ramming its head into the ground while trying to scrabble the blocks of its name together. I see what I was missing.
I already tried to help you! You left, not me! I have no obligation to you.
Do you not? I believe it's your job to get me to our destination, actually. Given what you tried to handle in that memo of yours, it doesn't seem like the kind of duty you have any interest in shirking. I know you better than you might think. What you want most, what you crave more than anything else in this world, is to be known and accepted without question nor compromise. And I know exactly what that feels like.
Do you? Do you really know what it's like to be me? You know what it's like to be hunted because of your blood? Isolated from those you care about? Used?
I was despised the moment they decided to make me. The shade of the Kerrian bloodline is symbolic for war, genocide, and scandal. My very existence is controversy. There was a time in which that didn't affect me. I had a man that I looked up to. A friend who tried to show me the reasons to continue forward, and a Moirail who respected me despite my past. Turns out the man who I looked up to never cared for me in the first place. The friend secludes himself and doesn't speak to me for sweeps, and the Moirail finds you, and decides that he wants and needs you more than he ever needed me. You know these people just as well, do you not?
Oof.
Oh, beginning to see why they don't get along.
Yep. I know that you like to rag on girls and try to make others believe the same thing because you believed you were wrong.
Was I not? Is it not wrong for one of the few people I had to leave me because they find someone they cared for more? I don't explicitly blame you for his choices, and I don't blame you for not seeing my side of the story. My distaste of your kind isn't by virtue of me being inherently superior, like the mudslingers would want you to believe. You are only part of it by proxy. But what about when you are seen as the problem? Colliard spoke highly of you and your abilities, despite all of the rumours. But what about when he gets what he wants? What about when Voat decides to retreat into the comfort of his own shadow? What about when Turkin finally decides to pull the trigger when there isn't anybody there to watch?
Osseous and Archek wouldn't do that to me.
They had no problem doing it to me.
Oof.
Oh, yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. You said that book you found was gifted to you by someone close, correct? It's a radical assumption in this day and age, but I can't seem to think of anyone more close than a blood relative. Was it your ancestor?
Yeah.
Then let me ask you this. Does this knowledge burden you?
I don't know if burden is really the word I would use. It helped me a lot growing up, especially all the stuff about spells and what she thought the future would be when I grew up. Really, I just thought it was a bunch of fun stories for most of my life. But once I learned that it all meant something, I'll admit it got a lot harder for me to take it all in. I keep trying to reread it and it still doesn't all connect. But I know I have to figure it out.
I have an immense knowledge of my own ancestor. Burden is most definitely the word I would use to describe my affiliation with him. The only knowledge he bestowed upon me is the knowledge that he believed our culture was rotten from the inside, and as such he wanted to control it. He demanded respect and would kill whether he got it or not. He's the reason that I strive to undo the malaise our planet rests on, and find a way to create a better world. A world without a neutral interference that claims it works for good. A world run by trolls who have learnt through suffrage and toiled through endless grief to craft something more than themselves, built on the idea that there is a way forward, and that anyone can earn an honest keep. This game takes away that chance for Repiton, sadly. But with our knowledge combined, through the benefits that our burdens bear to us, it can finally allow the acceptance we strive towards. We can take what remains of our world and mould it into something better. Entrust me and me alone with your information from now on, and I will utilize it. Don't you miss it? The days when we all connected and were unified as an unsectioned clique? We can bring it back. This game can be used as a conduit for us to finally be better. I will use it only to make us stronger, to make us whole.
I really don't know. What you're saying all sounds really nice on paper, but in practice, I just can't see it working out in a way that's very satisfying. There are things in here that I don't even understand all that well. honestly, maybe some things that we shouldn't know? I've spent so long trying to utilize it on my own and safeguard it from others. Maybe it just isn't even worth. Maybe it just isn't even worth the risk. It could be better to leave it alone after this.
These are different circumstances. I know it comes off as pressure, but the desperation is very clear. There isn't any there isn't any use in worrying about containing information that can purify a tainted and dire strait. We have a saying in business that we use when we have a leg up on others around us.
You snooze, you lose?
No, it's just business. I think the kind of illustration there says it all, really.
Yeah. Well,
Oh.
I guess when you put it that way, I guess this doesn't leave you with much of a choice, does it?
Nonsense. There's always a choice. I believe you'll make the right one.
Then... okay.
Excellent. Hold on a moment before we go further, though. There's something in the distance. Huh? Detect movement. Something catches the corner of your eye after a partnership well forged. Interesting. Here we go again. You suppose they must not have any kind of forethought if they intend to traverse the depths. They look as though they would fit right in, yet they don't look mutated as per usual. It seems as if they were made in a place that breeds the very idea of ugly. So of course, naturally, they come to you. Ooh. Laven's Denizen.
You want to voice the Denizen?
Sure. Makes sense.
Well, that's my story. I know it's only basically like 3 things, but I thought it was pretty good. If you wanted at some point, I could expound on them. Did I mention that I cut off blood flow to my leg while trying to tie a Persic once?
You did, yes. I'll figure out a voice.
That is classic me.
This is all very classical in nature. Okay. Let's think of a voice then. Your situation, I don't know. Your situation, generally speaking, is not one of distinction. Those in your position prior have had a similar set of expectations put upon them. The dichotomy of space and time is perhaps the most prevalent in any session, and as such, those who are bound to inherit such speciality require certain circumstances to provide for the ones without equivalent standards. Advancements that allow for them to usher in the beginning and service them until the end. Between both aspects, we become the expanse of all, facilitators and saviours, martyrs and forgers. It is no surprise that you are the one chosen for a task of great magnitude. I knew it would be you before you even thought I could exist.
I'm guessing all 13 of you talk.
That's 13 of them.
Yeah, he mentioned. Actually, it was mentioned that there are 13 denizens.
Oh yeah. Oh, for some reason I was thinking that meant he has 13. Like, I don't know why I thought that was. I don't know what I was thinking. That.
No worries.
Communication and development is the only way to breed success. We are a family above all else.
So, do you know anything that's supposed to happen then? Or everything? Do you guys all huddle up and discuss the game plan? That's sort of frowned upon these days where I'm from, sporadically speaking.
We are aligned to those of essential purity, influential figures to your world, hidden from view, only released to be obtained by undying souls based in our own worth, a speaker and a power.
Neat.
I'm of the impression you know your destination quite well, Knight.
Hold on. What about those guys with the drippy eyes? What do they represent? Because I'm getting the vibe that if they're related to you, that could make us more 1/4 of a whole. And 3 of those 4th are just kind of staring at me. Is Mud a part of this equation too? Because I'd like him to be.
He is not, sorry. Outside influences such as guardians and pets are frowned upon here.
Don't like that.
Me neither. Let us take a step back. I would like you to recount your story again before we move further in this introspection. While your connections do not surprise me, the words you use to describe them do.
Involve the doggy!
Yeah.
It is good boy.
Aw.
I already told you though. I'm Liven Faru. This is my Lucis. His name is Mutt and he's good. I do taxidermy work. I sell made-to-order stuff online for money. Sometimes I stitch together weird corpse parts for a friend. Also for money. Because I need that to live. I really like glue. I was going to use it for a project tonight, but I couldn't find any. And it was too late anyway, so I gave up. I have some old characters I don't do anything with. I'm really bad at tying knots, and that goes with the Persig incident. I play a weird quasi-political video game that only assholes and hackers. Oh god. It's called Municipality, and it sucks. I like it. I think it's fun. That's about it.
But it is... But it isn't what I meant by your story. That is just you. But what has happened to you? But what has happened to you? What exactly have you done thus far? Ooh,
I don't
Jigsaw.
see the point in recounting it.
You don't?
No.
Did you feel nothing upon my release? Any sense of wonder or shock at what the puzzle meant?
No.
Why do you think that is?
Because I've learned about it already. I'm just doing what I already knew I would have to do. I knew we would start playing tonight. Speaking to WN was going to happen no matter what. Even if I didn't know what he was going to do. I knew it would be better to go to CrossFit and wait him out. Anything I didn't know, he told me. Like how this whole shebang is a failsafe so we can get it right. And you know what I know and what I don't know. If the end of the world is going to happen, and you know about it for a pretty long time, eventually you get tired of worrying about it, and you just go, yeah, alright. So I don't really find a great need to go over it again. But it's just boring at this point. So he put together a jigsaw puzzle to get inside.
That's fun.
I like that. I like jigsaw puzzles.
Yeah. I think most would be jumping up and down wanting to be in your position. I have never once heard in all of my time that one found the core nature of this entire system to be boring.
I mean, this itself isn't boring. The idea of doing the same thing over and over again, talking about and doing what's already been done, it just gets old after a while. But I'm used to it because I've been spoiled to the mystery. I was hoping maybe what happens here might, I don't know, make things interesting again.
I think your view of knowledge might be painted in thin strokes.
Never really got into painting. Could never control myself with it.
That sounds about right from what I'm hearing.
Is that an insult?
No, it's good, because it means you can get what you want. There is an infinite amount of room for you to learn and grow here.
Definitely want to see it then.
Not quite yet. You still had questions from earlier, didn't you? Something that you said you didn't understand.
The only thing I feel like I don't know outside of the basics is this.
Oh yeah, that. Kinda
That.
forgot he has that.
Yeah. Just casually wearing a green sun around his
Yeah,
neck. No big
you
deal.
know how it is. His entrusting of you with the green sun. If he explained his reasoning to you, why do you continue to be curious?
Because I still just want to know why.
You are an aspect holder of space. Along with time, it is your job to ensure the initial start and end of any given session. I just mentioned that, and you obviously know it. So is it not boring to repeat yourself?
I never got an answer about why exactly it has to be me. Not from you. Not from him. Not from these glaring creatures. And not from Mutt. And definitely not from me. This aspect stuff doesn't matter without substance. If I'm some kind of embodiment of you or space or whatever, then what does this have to do with it? Why me specifically?
As one of space, I often feel as if I am a being of circumstance. I do not enjoy to wax existential as others of my brood are prone to. I am patient and not prone to nor fond of surprises. I take what I am, and I feel complete. But you seem to want more than just what lies within this simple box. I think our second eldest would like your manner of thinking.
Who's the old person?
Technically, we were never truly born at all. We existed before this form, and we will continue to exist after this form, unless this session were to be unresolved. Oh, I just noticed there's, like, the creature in the green sun.
Yeah,
Is
I
that
think
the
it's
one they're
another
talking
person.
about? Yeah, presumably the one they're talking about.
Yeah.
She is a special case among us, however, as her utilization allowed us much freedom in an age where colour is faded. Without her essence, the light around your neck would have immediately deadened, and we all would have never seen the corporeal, much less make it this far. Her name is Lilith. I'm not exactly her biggest fan, but I respect her. Her methods are unorthodox, but they work, so I have no reason to complain.
I think she's the 13th denizen. If
Yeah,
I'm thinking right.
seems right.
How does she know WN? Or, I should probably actually say it. How does she know white noise?
I've never known a white noise. I don't think she ever has either.
That doesn't sound right. I mean, he created this whole thing, didn't he? I thought that was pretty clear. Plus, you kept saying he when I talked about him this whole time. So if you don't know him, you just put a big implication on yourself. Also, are you just being cagey?
No, there is an endless amount of knowledge even I can't understand. Sometimes you have to rely on instinct, or simply remain complacent. If you were to ask me to, my instinct tells me that someone like you should know better than to take someone making such claims at face value.
I don't know about you. Honestly, my instinct says Merritt and I got what we need. Sounds like a complication on your end.
I don't know a Murret either.
Nobody does.
Sometimes you can't stand in one place to see a whole picture.
He's the time guy.
Oh, so he will be who you work with across your journey.
If you want to put it like that.
Do you believe that your association with him here might be fated?
Weird choice of description. I don't have any kind of interest in him if that's what you mean.
It it isn't.
Oh, so you just mean normal fate. Like the concept.
I didn't assume there was any other form.
Then, nah, not really.
You are very full of surprises. Not once have you said what I expected from you. This is very new to me.
I just don't think fate exists. Like, there's nothing that really controlled me to be here. I made my own choices and that led me here. Same with him.
Fate might easier explain a lot of what you feel. Does that not bring you any sort of comfort?
I don't really like the idea that I'm being controlled. That a part of me is bound to some destiny I have no say in. I'm just me.
That is shockingly thorough of you.
Thanks, I tried.
Well, I can't tell you everything you want, Laven. That would defeat the purpose of all of this. However, I can provide you with what you need on the path toward what you seek, and the world in which that path awaits you. That's a cool
Land
visual.
of construct and deluge.
Ooh,
He's got a beaver!
that's cute.
Not used to seeing blue water.
Really? How do you fish then? Your water can't be fresh.
It's not. You gotta pay for an overpriced, clean and detox slab of it.
Ugh.
That is unless you want to risk falling into the ocean. But I'm not looking to die a slow and painful brain death.
Perhaps you aren't wrong to feel malaise then.
Do you like fish? You seem pretty interested in them.
I have no need for the material or sustenance. But yes, I do like fish. They intrigue me. Come now, your answer lies within.
Symbols.
Yeah.
This is some alchemy shit.
Yeah.
I only recognize that because of Full Metal Alchemist.
One of
I
them
hope
looks like...
these answers are satisfying. Took a while for us to get here. Like, I want to know what these two guys do. Not just come out and say it. I like them. I want to know who they are.
You will know them very well, I assure you. We reside in the core of this land. It was made in order to challenge you, to watch you grow. However, this place was not made simply for your self-betterment. You, along with the hero of time and the hero of hope, will all have obligation here. This is the failsafe you have learned of. This is the cauldron.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Goes down pretty deep.
It is exactly that deep. You three will be...
Nice answer.
You three will be tasked with its needs. However, all 12 of you must be involved in order for the process to truly begin. This is a common goal you must all serve. It will involve the gathering of many key items, then to be moulded and distilled. This land itself is crucial to start with, so I will suggest going for that contentious sporting huddle you mentioned earlier.
So, but just to make sure, these duties do include your friends too, right?
Yes, it does include them.
Fucking sweet.
Just as you have obligations, so do they. Above all else, they are the protectors of this keep, watchful eyes of your progress. In the end, it will be a spectacle of a grand design, the penultimate clash in an endless dispute.
That's cool.
It will be our magnum opus. Oh. I'm wondering what...
I'm gonna read that one.
What?
Enjoying your
Oh.
handiwork?
Oh. You're supposed to be in position, Lilith. We've done this many times now. You should very well know the proceedings.
I couldn't help but overhear the festivities. Seemed like a good time to ask you something I've been meaning to for a while now. When are you going to tell these poor children who you really are?
Oh. I have no idea what you're talking about. They see me the way I'm meant to be seen. So
But that
she's...
isn't fair, is it?
I was just saying, so she's the denizen of life, I notice.
Oh, yeah, she is.
Yeah.
So, I believe that makes her Elsie's denizen. I
Uh,
think she's a life player?
Yeah, I'm not good at remembering aspects and stuff. Sure.
Yeah, I believe Elsie's the life player.
Sure.
But that's it. But that isn't fair, is it? You continually...
Thank you, Austin.
Hell yeah, I remember it correctly.
I don't know. Just God tier him all, then I can tell.
You continually ask us to keep secrets on your behalf while you have no reason to hide. Do you still feel guilty about everything we've done to their planet in the name of... Is it because even though you've seen this happen so many times, you still can't accurately predict a favorable outcome? Granted, neither of us could have stopped certain catastrophes from arising once it began. Corporate uprisings, soulmates, tainted black seas, detestable spawns which not even I could... All of this because you decided we had to play it safe and introduce something unnatural that will accept Mother's essence.
Everything we did was for the right reasons. Sometimes people get hurt in the process, but without their aid and sacrifice we would not be able to move forward.
I think that's what you want to believe. You wish to state your ideals that bluntly, but you hide behind words and past experiences. putting on new faces to mask your insecurities. Why is it that you fear yourself? Is it because you don't agree with your own methods? Is it because you couldn't save them all like Mother wanted? Or is it because no matter how many times you change, you still know that you have Father within you as well?
Don't you dare compare me to him. Oh.
Oh, would you look at that? The degrading is much
Yeah,
more
his,
than I expected.
his hand came
His
up. I
fucking-
didn't even
his
notice.
fucking hand is gone. Yeah, he swung his arm a
Yeah.
off.
Oh.
Yeah, he's not doing too good. You're getting weaker, Metatron. Metatron, right? You won't be able to hold on forever.
Metatron. That's something in Judaism, isn't it? An angel or something.
Is it?
Something like that.
Oh, if it is, I learned something new today.
I don't know.
I'd be surprised if you make it through the aspired 32 nights or so this session is planned to last. That's not very long.
Oh, that's... I don't know, isn't that about average for... I mean, for Suburb, I don't know about the game.
Okay, actually, no, that's true. That's a pretty good amount of time.
I'm trying to think. How long did...
Well, okay, when it comes to Esper, we gotta remember that this is a different game.
Yeah, I'm just saying, that's the best point of comparison we have. Let me check. Trolls took 612 hours. That's 25 and a half days, and I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
Car Cat, I want to say, mentioned that that's a decent time.
Yeah, he mentioned it was like a 600-hour session.
Yeah. But, I mean, as you say, this isn't Spurb, so who knows?
Sorry.
What was that?
There was a tiny gnat on my screen. It was flying on my screen for the past half hour. I needed to get rid of it. I didn't kill it, by the way. I missed.
Go. Stop looking at me. Just leave.
Fine. Your secrets are still safe with us. But perhaps take this as a sign or a complex metaphor. I know how much you love those. You'll be seen as you are, whether you want to or not. You have a very limited amount of time left, regardless of the outcome. There could be some relief in being honest with it.
She's right. And I will. Soon. Let's just go back to how it always was. I think our visitation on Locad has ended on schedule. What do you think will happen next? It appears that we're finally meeting our light player. Oh, hey.
Yay!
Very
I love her.
She looks cute.
She's
Very
adorable.
Very shy, this one. Incredibly hard to find on many occasions. Even ensuring her meeting with the other holders proved oddly troublesome. But she's here now, and you're always here with me. And that's what counts. Why didn't we get this last proper introduction out of the way? I'm wondering if that's maybe a decent place to leave it?
Let me do a quick check.
Just because we've been going about like a little over 2 hours.
Yeah, we usually stop around this time, but real quick, I want to see how much we have left.
Oh, on page.
Because I believe last time when I said, oh, we only have like 1 or 2 weeks left, this was.
Yeah, you did mention we could
So we're
maybe
getting there.
finish it. It's just on page 816. I'm pretty sure there's 999 pages. I'd check that at some
Oh,
point.
that's appropriate.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm thinking maybe.
Okay, the page just doesn't want to fucking load, so I think we can stop here.
Yeah, just I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be completely opposed to a sort of long stream to finish it up, but on the other hand, you know, I mean,
It's like 1 a.m. for you. which is
yeah,
great.
2. And I've got like the youth club tomorrow and some stuff I want to do in the morning before that.
Oh right.
So
yeah.
yeah, and
That's a
also
good
it's kind of gone and got blooming hot again, so that's fun.
Oh god.
Yeah, you know,
God,
for
yeah, you guys are suffering like quite a heat wave.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that you guys don't normally have like AC in all of your
Oh
houses.
yeah. I can't think I've like ever been in a house with AC. You know, like some offices and shops and stuff will have it, but it's not
Yeah,
a thing
because
in
I mean,
houses.
considering it's like it's like 30 degrees Celsius here year round,
Yeah.
we pretty
It's, it
much have to have an AC in
must
all of
seem
our
like
houses,
nothing.
otherwise we'll
Yeah.
fucking die.
Yeah. You know, this Thursday, it's the second highest, I mean, the second hottest day on record for the UK. So,
Jesus,
yeah.
how high?
I'll be honest, I don't actually know the numbers, but it got high 30s, I think, in some places,
Ugh,
which is like insane
really
here.
bad.
Yeah.
We really don't go higher than like 32 ever.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
yeah, that's pretty bad.
like 20s is like a nice warm day here. Sorry, we're really rambling on here. This isn't how to end a
Yeah.
stream, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say that if we start or oh shit. Oh, that's right. Okay. Um we have the Starman.net Fun Fest starting this week. We might not be able to do it next week.
Oh, well, I mean,
Either
if we
that,
can't, we'll just do it when we can.
okay, because we are doing the Fun Fest is gonna stream also on a Saturday, and it's gonna be at like
Hmm.
8 o'clock. So either we start really early or we have to put it off for a while
Hmm.
because okay,
Unless.
you know what? You know what? Because I'm pretty sure that the next stream will probably be the last, assuming
Yeah.
that we're close enough. If we
Yeah.
start early enough, we can try to finish it next week
Yeah, if I
and
could.
then
Or.
dedicate the rest. Or
Well, I just think, or. I don't know if you would be able to maybe, like, do one tomorrow because I have Monday off work. I can stay up. I don't know. Would
let me
if
think.
you would be able to? If you can't, that's
Sunday
fine.
nights are my D&D nights.
Oh,
so I don't know.
okay. Yeah, no, that's fine then.
But I'll come back to you on that because if by chance, usually if D&D night gets canceled, I let you know in advance. So I'll see what happens.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's fair.
If I
but,
don't have D&D tomorrow, I will get to you as soon as
Yeah.
possible. Otherwise, I will not be able to do tomorrow.
yeah, but if we could do it, if I can get here like early next week, I will definitely try to. If not, you know, we'll do it when we can.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, we'll let you know either way. We'll
Yeah.
post it on Twitter.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you once
Thanks a
again,
lot for
everyone
coming,
who
guys, and
came to
watching
watch,
as
and
usual.
Austin, since you're here, thank you for making this comic, co-making
Yes,
it.
absolutely.
Special
We
shout
owe you
outs for
our- we owe
that.
you our life, etc.
Yeah. So I'll
Whenever we can do the next
yeah.
one, which might not be
See
on
you.
Saturday.
See you all then, whenever then is.